Okay, everyone, we'd like to welcome Natasha Sherman Mitchell. She is with LiveHealth Online, and she will begin her presentation now.
Thank you so much. Today we're going to walk through LiveHealth Online. We're going to talk about what LiveHealth Online is. I'm also going to walk you guys through the registration process of creating your account. We encourage everyone to create a LiveHealth Online account before you get sick. That way you have it on your smartphone, you have it on your tablet, and you're easily able to log in and have a visit without having to worry about creating an account when you're sick. The last thing you want to do is to try to figure out how to create an account, become familiar with the technology when you don't feel well. So we want you to create your account before you get sick. So as you're listening to this webinar, take the time to walk through creating your account while you're on this webinar or shortly thereafter. That way you have it set up and you don't have to worry about it. Also going to walk you through what a typical visit through LiveHealth Online will look like. The average medical visit is anywhere from 8 to 10 minutes. And you guys also have access to psychology, which is about a 45-minute visit. So we want to make sure that you understand how to have a visit, create your account, and then understand what LiveHealth Online is. So LiveHealth Online is a telemedicine platform that allows for you to have a live two-way video visit with a board-certified doctor 24/7, 365 days a year. So that does mean that you can log in at 2 a.m., you can log in on the weekend, you can log in on holidays, and be able to see a doctor live, and if medically necessary, have a prescription sent to the pharmacy of your choice. Now, with the onset of COVID, telemedicine has become very, very popular. So we want you guys to understand that you have access to a telemedicine platform through your benefits. So make sure you take the opportunity to go to the website, livehealthonline.com, download the app, take a look around and see all of the great benefits that you have access to through LiveHealth Online. The last thing you want to do is to go into an urgent care facility, go into an emergency room for some of the conditions that I'm going to show you on the next screen, when you could have logged on from the comfort of your home and had a visit with a doctor. And again, if medically necessary, had a prescription sent to the pharmacy. Now, in addition to medical, you also have access to in-network licensed therapists and board-certified psychiatrists. Now, unlike medical, where you can log in, choose a doctor, and begin your visit almost immediately, so there's no appointment needed for medical visits. With psychology, we do ask that you make an appointment because those visits are about 45 minutes in length. So we want to make sure that you set aside the appropriate amount of time to have that comprehensive end-to-end visit. Again, those appointments are 7 days a week, and that does include nights and weekends. So it makes it really, really flexible for you to be able to get your appointment scheduled. We're going to talk more about psychology in the coming slides, but just know that you have access to both medical and psychology through LiveHealth Online. Now, I talked a little bit about how to have the visit. So I mentioned I want you to download the app so that you can have it on your smartphone as well as your tablet. You can also have a visit through a desktop computer or a laptop computer. Now, what you do need to make sure that each one of these devices has is internet connection, as well as a two-way camera, okay? Almost every phone now has a two-way camera. Back in the day, we did have the phones that didn't have the two-way camera and you had to kind of flip it around. But if you have a mobile device, a tablet, a desktop computer or a laptop computer, and it has internet connection and a camera, then you can have a visit on LiveHealth Online. Now, there are some states that will allow for a phone visit, and you will see that option when you log in for your visit through LiveHealth Online. You'll see the option for either phone or video, and you can make that choice if it is allowed in the state that you're in. Okay. Now here on the screen, you're going to see some of the more common medical conditions that the doctors will treat for through LiveHealth Online. This list is not all inclusive. It does not include every single condition that you can see a doctor for through LiveHealth Online. But it does give you a pretty good idea of the types of conditions that the doctors can treat for and prescribe prescriptions for. Now, keep in mind the doctors are not able to prescribe controlled substances or lifestyle medications, okay? But these common conditions that you see here on the screen, the last thing, again, you want to do is go to that urgent care facility, sit in there with other sick individuals, and then the emergency room for some of these conditions that the doctor can treat for through LiveHealth Online. Again, 24/7, 365, weekends, holidays, you're able to have a visit with the doctor and have that prescription sent to the local pharmacy. Now, you're able to have these visits across the 50 continuous United States. So if you're traveling, you know, we have the holidays coming up. A lot of people might be traveling to visit family. You can have a visit anywhere in the 50 continuous United States. So that makes it, again, really, really flexible to get the care that you need when you need it. So here on this screen, this is going over our psychology benefit. Now, you guys have access to psychologists and therapists through LiveHealth Online. You're going to be able to see the therapist and the psychologist for the different conditions that you see here listed on the screen. Now, I will tell you that with the onset of COVID, our visits for psychology has increased substantially. I mean, if you can imagine, people have been so stressed and anxiety has been high, you know, depression, because, you know, you're dealing with maybe the sickness of a loved one. You may be dealing with, you know, sheltered in place, right? At the early part of COVID, we were told that we couldn't really go out, and that could cause some, you know, depression in individuals. And making sure that you have the care that you need is truly, truly beneficial. And people have really been taking advantage of it. One other thing that I think is phenomenal about LiveHealth Online Psychology is that there are therapists and psychologists trained to treat children down to the age of 10. So not only are the adults dealing with issues that they may need to speak with a psychologist or a therapist about, we also have our children, our youth, our adolescents that may need to speak to someone. And you have that flexibility, you have that comfort in knowing that there are therapists and psychologists through LiveHealth Online that can treat children down to the age of 10. Now, just as in the brick and mortar setting, the therapist and the psychologist are not able to prescribe prescriptions, okay? So that's consistent with the brick and mortar, that doesn't change. But to be able to get you an appointment, sometimes 4 days or less is our goal, but sometimes you may log in and see that there's some therapists that have same-day appointments, depending on where you are and the time of the day. Now, in addition to psychology, we have psychiatry, and this is board-certified psychiatrists that are able to help with medication management. So these doctors are able to prescribe medications. They are not able to prescribe controlled substances. So that's consistent with medical. No controlled substances are prescribed through LiveHealth Online Psychology, but they are able to prescribe prescriptions that can help with a number of the conditions that you see here. So for our members that need medication management, how awesome is it to be able to log on to LiveHealth Online and have a visit with a psychiatrist? Just like the psychology, you do have to make an appointment, but it's really easy, and I'll show you that in the next couple of screens, how you can make that appointment. Now, when we talk about visit cost for both medical, psychology, and psychiatry, on the next screen, I want you guys to reach out to Lane if you have any questions about the cost, because we want to make sure that you have the most up-to-date information. I don't know when you're going to be listening to this webinar, so I want to make sure you have up-to-date information. So if you have any questions about cost, I'm going to give you a name and an email, as well as a phone number where you can reach out for questions on that. Okay. Now, activating your account. As I mentioned, one of the most critical aspects of LiveHealth Online is creating your account before you get sick. And I say it's critical because it gets you familiar with the technology and it gets your account set up before you get sick. And then you get monthly reminder e-cards from us. And they're really meant to be educational in nature, to really inform you about how and why you might want to use LiveHealth Online. So it really is meant to educate you continuously about how you can use LiveHealth Online and the different services available. So we want you to create your account before you get sick. You can create your account two ways. You can either go to the website at livehealthonline.com, or you can download the free mobile app. Now, I encourage everyone to download the free app. Why? Because we have our phones with us all the time. And secondly, about 70% or more of our visits come through the mobile app on a monthly basis. So we know that people are using the mobile app to have visits. So I highly encourage you, even if you create your account on the website, go ahead, download the app so you have it on your phone. And also it serves as a reminder, right? The last thing you want to do is have an account created, go to the urgent care, sit there, and then leave, and then remember you have LiveHealth Online. So make sure you go ahead and download that app. Now, dependents under 18, they're not going to create their own account, but you, and as well as your dependent children and spouses over 18, will create their own account. And that's really easy, guys. Just like you're creating an account on any other app or website, you're going to hit that sign up button. Okay, you're going to hit that sign up button. And then here on this screen, you'll see the data elements you need to create your account. Now, I know this may look easy, but people seem to mess this up. So when you're entering your name, it is very important that your name matches your Anthem ID card. Okay, because we are going to confirm eligibility. So the same way you go into a doctor's office and you give them your ID card, they may ask for your license. We need to make sure that information matches, okay? So we want to make sure that information matches what's on your medical ID card, okay? Each person over the age of 18 that's creating their own account will need an email address that's unique to them. You'll create a password. You'll enter your resident state, your date of birth, your gender, and your insurance ID number that is found on your Anthem ID card. You do not need the service key, okay? That is not needed, so you can skip over that part. But all the rest of the data elements you'll need. Your Anthem ID number off of your insurance card is important because that tells us what the cost of your visit should be based on your insurance coverage. Okay, once you do that, your account is created. Now, if you have children under 18, this is where you can take the opportunity to quickly add them to your account. If you are on the computer creating your account, you'll be put into your LiveHealth Online profile. You'll see your name at the top, and then right next to your name, you'll see the option that says My Account. You'll simply click on My Account, and then you'll see the option where you can add your children. And that's from the desktop or the computer view. Now, if you're doing it from the mobile device, down in the lower right-hand corner on an Apple device, you'll see the option for More. And in the upper left-hand corner on an Android device, you'll see 3 dots. You'll click that. Once you click that, you'll see the option for My Children, and that's where you will add your children. Okay. After that, guys, your account is set up and you're ready to go. That's when you can then have a visit through LiveHealth Online. Now, when you do create your account, you're going to be put, as I said, into your LiveHealth Online profile. So you'll see the screen that you see here. It'll have all the different medical practices. It'll have the psychology practice there as well. I want to quickly explain to you what the different practices are for. The first couple of practices that you'll see are the medical practices. And I like to think of this as the medical mall because there's individual stores or tiles that you can click on depending on what you're looking for. The first couple of tiles that you'll see are medical tiles. The first one being the main tile of LiveHealth Online Medical. Then what we did is to make it easy for individuals to find different doctors, such as doctors that treat children, and doctors that specialize in allergy. We broke those doctors out into different practices so that you can quickly find them. So you may see the same doctors in medical that you see in kids, and the same doctors that you see in allergy, you may see them in medical. That's simply because we just broke them out to make it easy for you to navigate and find those doctors. Okay, so LiveHealth Online Medical is where you would click if you want to have a medical visit. If you have children under 18 and you want to find a doctor that quickly treats children, you'll click on kids, and then doctors that specialize in treating allergies, you'll find them in the allergy practice. Next, you'll see the psychology and the psychiatry practices. Now, in each one of the practices, we give the member the choice on choosing the doctor that they want to see, okay? You can also say, put me with the first available doctor. Totally up to you on how you want to access care, right? If you're like me and you want to go through and look at the doctor's profiles, you'll simply click on the doctor's picture. Once you click on their picture, their profile will come up. It'll give you some background information on that doctor. It'll tell you what their specialization of care is. It'll tell you where they received their birth certification, where they're located, what languages they speak, and the years of experience. I say this is more information than I usually get when I go into my own doctor's office. So we want to make you comfortable, right, having this visit. So our goal is to give you as much information as possible so that you can make an informed decision. So once you're ready to choose your doctor, you'll simply click on Start Visit. Once you start your visit, the system is going to ask for some basic information, okay? It's going to first ask, who is the visit for? Is it for yourself, or is it for a child that's under 18? Okay, so you'll make that choice. Then it's going to ask for your phone number. So that's used in case the doctor needs to follow up with you for any particular reason. If they just, get disconnected, for instance, or they need to follow up with you after the visit. They'll use that for that. We've also recently added earlier this year with the onset of COVID, some additional pre-questions to kind of assess before you get into the visit with the doctor, the reason for your visit. So we'll ask if you have been in contact with anyone that has had COVID, if you've traveled internationally. It'll ask for your physical address in case they need to route EMS to you if you have an emergency situation during the visit. So we've added those pre-questions there to better help the doctors to treat our patients. Next, you'll have the option to choose what you want to discuss with the doctor today. So just give them some basic information on the reason for your visit. Next, you'll be able to put in your medical history, allergies that you have to medications you're taking. Now, this section, guys, does say optional, but I always encourage people to complete it because it's giving the doctor more information to treat you. It's similar to the information that you would put in the system or fill out when you go to your own doctor's office. And guess what? You don't have to complete this every time you come in for a visit. It's saved for subsequent visits you will have on the platform, and you just simply have to make updates to it. So go ahead, get it completed during that first visit so that it's saved going forward. Next, you'll be able to choose your pharmacy of where you want your prescription sent. Now, keep in mind, as I mentioned, you can have visits at home, close to work, or if you're traveling anywhere in the 50 continuous United States. So having this map here makes it really easy for you to find pharmacies if you're not familiar with the area that you're in. Next, if you enter your insurance information, your insurance number will appear here on the screen. We ask that you verify it. If you created your account and you did not put in your insurance information, this is the opportunity for you to do so. Next, we'll confirm your eligibility. We'll check the cost of your visit, and then you'll be able to pay whatever the applicable cost is with a credit card, a debit card, a gift card. If you have HSA plans or flexible spending account cards, you can use those as well to pay for your visit, okay? Now, as I mentioned before, if you have questions and you want to confirm the cost of your visit, Lane is going to be able to help you. The email address is here as well as the phone number. So if you have questions and you don't know the cost of your visit, because we don't know when you're going to be listening to this, we want you to be able to call and just confirm that information so you have the most up-to-date information possible. Okay. We want to thank you so much for taking the time to listen to the webinar. One thing I want to remind you is make sure you create your account before you get sick, and take a look at the website, download the free mobile app onto your smartphone.
Thank you so much, Natasha. And again, if anyone has any questions, just please reach out to us here at the Society or Lane Heddick at Assured Partners.